Hey, Snapflash fam. Today we're covering a landmark judgment from Botswana that has everyone talking across the region. A High Court ruling has officially cleared South African businesswoman and ambassador, Bridgette Motsepe-Radebe, of serious terrorism and money laundering allegations. Here's what it means for press freedom, justice, and regional diplomacy. What happens when false allegations cross borders, ruin reputations, and go global? In a stunning courtroom twist, Botswana says enough. Stay tuned to hear how this ruling sets a new standard for justice and transparency. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell to stay in the loop with Africa's most critical news, only on Snapflash. The High Court of Botswana has ruled that Ambassador Bridgette Motsepe-Radebe was falsely accused of financing terrorism and destabilizing the nation. The court declared that the 2019 affidavit, submitted by former DCEC investigator Jaco Hubona, was false, defamatory, and unlawful. This affidavit had accused Motsepe-Radebe of co-signing accounts used to siphon funds from Botswana's central bank. The claims went viral internationally, linking her name with high-profile figures like ex-President Ian Khama and intelligence chief Isaac Gossi. Now, in an unprecedented move, the court has ordered both Hubona and the Botswana government to issue a public apology and global retraction.
But Bridgette has been triumphantly vindicated in her campaign to ensure that the truth came out. A 5-year-long campaign which has culminated in today. We are grateful for the new government of Botswana that recognised the terrible injustice that had been done against her and has acknowledged that in open court today, and also pledged to make sure it's thoroughly investigated how this happened. And we are of course grateful to the judge and to everyone, the whole legal team, who has contributed to what has happened here today.
Of traditional leadership in South Africa. Her father was the founding member of the Congress of Traditional Leaders, and therefore when there was a character assassination on her part, we had to come in the forefront to come and defend her, because we were quite clear from the beginning that this was a political mischief. There was nothing that was really negative that Ms. Bridgette had done, and therefore this case has now collapsed because it was based on falsehoods, it was based on narratives that are totally pointing to a clear case of the abuse of institutions of state to attack individuals without any material evidence. So that this has come to this now, we're quite very happy as Condoleezza, and we congratulate her, and we're also very happy as well that when you have a government that is progressive, is quick to take that decision to withdraw this matter, to say that in the first place there was nothing here, and therefore this government has washed its hands. And for us, we say this is a good example that when you have done wrong, you humble yourself. Other issues that are detailed as to what is going to happen as part and parcel of the reparation, let that be done by the relevant bodies to ensure that justice at the end of the day prevails. And we stand on the side of justice. And this case resonates with restorative justice system, which is based on the rudimentary of the customary roots as well of the laws, the origins of the laws in the African sense. And therefore, thanks Ms. Bridgette, I think you are free now to do your work, and we'll continue to support you.
Yeah, okay.
And we also want to thank the legal team locally and Mrs. Blair for taking time to come and ensure that she processes this to its logical conclusion that we have witnessed today. And thank you very much for that, Mrs. Blair.
Okay, my name is Radebe. I'm the member of the Executive Committee of the National Civic Association in South Africa. I'm here on behalf of our General Secretary would have been here, but there was an apology. First, we want to thank the legal team led by Ms. Blair. When this matter was brought into our table some time, we felt that really, as a civic movement in South Africa, we can't leave it like that. We had to engage, and we've been called a march to the embassy of Botswana to say the victimization of women in particular is a problem. We believed in Miss Bridgette on what he said. We are saying today, those tears are wiped. She was crying, sorry. Thank you, Sisi. Thank you very much. We know for the fact that this issue in the country, there was this bank and that bank, all of the banks were like said, with the money was gone to the bank. And the ministers at some stage were like litigated or something. But we're focusing only on to say we can't have a situation where our leader and our leaders and our mother can be victimized in that particular way. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Just one word from
The court has ordered both Hubona and the Botswana government to issue a public apology and global retraction. Where? Government of Botswana homepage? For 7 straight days, full-page ads in the Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, Sunday Times, and Botswana's Megi Live news bulletins on CNN International and SABC News. The message? The allegations were reckless, baseless, and damaging. Motsepe-Radebe chose not to seek monetary damages, saying her priority was clearing her name. But the government must pay her legal costs, with additional reimbursements to be considered in a hearing this August.
I am Khama Motsi. I was engaged in this matter to represent the government and its agencies in respect of the proceedings that had been brought by the applicant, Duma Boko. It was a defamation suit in terms of which she was seeking damages to the tune of about 20 million. So having considered the papers and having taken instructions, because you'll remember that when these proceedings commenced, the regime was a different one. So obviously there has to be a distinction in terms of policy. There's been a shift because the orientation, this one is a human rights centric approach. And the human rights centric approach is one that requires that where there has been a violation of rights, individual rights, particularly by apparatus of government, as happened in this instance, then the proper route would be for the government to do all in its powers to try and assuage the wounded feelings of those aggrieved. So it is for that reason that we then took a decision that the proper course would not be to fight the proceedings, because we realized that a wrong had been committed against this individual, and it was therefore prudent to bring the proceedings to an end in the manner that we did.
So what happens next?
The settlement, as you have noted, is in respect of the costs that have been incurred, both the legal costs and what they classify as incidental expenses. These incidental expenses arose in the course of the proceedings, where she sought to engage resources for vindication of her name. So our liability in terms of the settlement extends to the settlement of the legal costs, that is the cost of counsel, and those incidental expenses. So the only thing outstanding is quantification of the quantum of those expenses. There is a procedure that is available to determine and get a figure in respect of the quantum of costs. We'll either agree on the costs. In the event of no agreement, we'll subject the legal cost to taxation. So the only matter that now remains pending for determination by the court is the question of the incidental expenses. We'll engage in discussions. We'll try by all means to close this matter by way of settlement, as we have done in respect of the main claim. But in the event we are not able to find each other, then we leave it to the court to make a determination in respect of that outstanding question.
Have you agreed on the date? I understand July was put out as a date for the next meeting following the engagement over quantums.
We'll be appearing before court for status update on the 20th of August. Meanwhile, the parties will then be conferring to try and reach a settlement agreement before that date. If we are not able to reach an agreement, as I've indicated, then we'll get a date where the court will assist the parties to resolve that question.
Government insiders admit the false allegations strained Botswana-South Africa relations and damaged the country's international image. Under President Duma Boko's leadership, Botswana's government is vowing that such fabrications will never happen again. Should high-stakes false allegations like this come with even harsher penalties? And does this ruling restore confidence in Botswana's justice system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this story opened your eyes, smash that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more stories that matter. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a Snap Flash update. This ruling is about more than one name. It's about reclaiming press freedom, judicial independence, and accountability in Africa. Bridgette Motsepe-Radebe exoneration is now part of a bigger conversation about justice in the era of misinformation. Thanks for watching Snap Flash, where we break the silence with facts. Stay curious, stay bold, and we'll see you in the next one.